What's the beef at the LA Metropolitan Water District? What up, guys? Welcome to this episode of Chad Talk Goss. We have some intense Shakespearean drama unfolding at the LA Metropolitan Water District, and I'm super excited to break it down for you because this is some serious, well-marinated beef, okay? Now first, before we get started, a little bit of context. What is the LA Metropolitan Water District? Well, they're the dudes in charge of the water. Now, a lot of you might be asking yourselves, in charge of the water? Wait a second, isn't God in charge of the water? Yes, God does make the water, but the government controls our water. So when you turn on the faucet, when you turn on the shower, all that kind of ish, that's the government. They act as the middleman to the water, okay? And we have elected officials handling our water, and that's what the drama is all about. On top of that, Socal is legit a desert. So we need to source our water from different locations. Basically, Socal water comes from the Colorado River. We source it up in Sacramento and pump that ish through NorCal, which pisses them off, but NorCal gets the ride off Socal's cool reputation, so they can suck it. All right, so we source our water that way, and there's a bunch of old school methods done in order to get our agua, and now there's a huge power struggle because we got new and old fighting over how we do it. That's what this beef is all about. It's basically like the movie Chinatown starring Dickinson, where he's involved in like a murder scandal, and it's involving like people in LA water, except this is happening in real life, okay? There's no murder yet. If there is, I will definitely report on it. I hope there's not, but it's getting close. Let me break this ish down for you. What is the sitch? Well, it all starts with the main dude in the center of it, Adele okay? He was voted as the top dog of the Metropolitan Water District in Socal. And it was a very turbulent, hectic election. A lot of people didn't want this dude getting the trident as the head of Agua in Los Angeles. Why? Well, he basically represents the libs, okay? So San Diego and Los Angeles were stoked on Adele. Conservatives in Orange County were not stoked on Adele because Adele said he's going to bring in a lot of like green, future-focused policies geared towards conservation and sourcing more locally, while the OG dudes are like, hey, we got a lot of old school systems in place. We got a lot of deals with a lot of people, and you're coming in and you're threatening that with your Greta Thunberg policies. Don't mess up our sitch. You're messing with our water and our money. Don't do it. And Adele was voted in, and he's like, I'm gonna do it, okay? So that's what's happening right now. Okay, so we got a massive power struggle in the water world. Basically, the libs and conservatives are duking it out, calling each other names. Like the conservatives are calling them a bunch of dirty hippies who don't like to shower, and the libs are calling them a bunch of douches who are freaking trying to be like Mad Max Fury Road with the water. Where do I stand on this? I don't know yet, but let's go through more details. So this power struggle has reached its climax most recently as Adele has been announced to have been placed on a leave of absence by the president chairman of the board, Adon Ortega Jr. Who's going to replace him for now? Devin Upadhyay, okay? Why was he placed on a leave of absence? Well, apparently, according to Adon Ortega Jr., CFO Katano Kasain wrote a letter to the board saying that Adele is just straight up bad vibes. He's a massive renob, and on top of everything, he's a harasser. Direct quote, look, I've been in some toxic environments before, but none as toxic as the work environment of Adele Hakhalil, okay? And I think he's a massive renob, a douche, and I think you guys should get rid of him. So, by necessity, the board is placing him on a leave of absence so they can conduct a massive investigation into his conduct, and then we will see what happens. So, as this letter was dropped by Katano and he was placed on a leave of absence, Adele was just chilling in Singapore, just friggin' doing whatever you do. And he texts the whole board and he's like, look, I've always treated everyone with respect and kindness, and this investigation will prove that all these claims are false. So we're looking at kind of like a he said, she said kind of deal. Yeah. So the big question here is Adele out there pumping water and grabbing ass? Or is this a power play by the OG water dudes trying to take the power from him because they don't like the way he's conducting biz? That's a mystery that's up in the air. My personal opinion, both sides look suspicious. So, on top of all of this, Catano's letter was released to the publication Politico. Adon Ortega, the chairman of the board, was super pissed. He's like, look, whoever released this document knows that we as individuals on the board are bound by the law to not disclose details in a closed sesh. And basically, whoever released this document is a massive renob, and they're trying to mess with the MWD, and I will not stand for that. So the investigation will continue, but things are looking a little bit fishy. What do people at the MWD think of Adele Khalil? Well, a lot of people were standing up for him, saying that the investigation needs to be fair and chill. Mark Gold from the NRDC said due process has been tainted in a major way. He also was like, look, Adele is more about the agua than anyone I know. This dude freaking loves the water. He should totally be manning the pump. On top of that, Bruce Resnick from the LA Waterkeeper said, look, our old way of doing biz, the old model for water, does not work in our climate change reality. So he also backs Adele Khalil. So I'd be remiss to say that this article was written by the LA Times. They tend to have a more left-handed side of things. So we didn't see anything against Adele Khalil in the article. Where I stand on it, look, I love my showers. I love my water pressure. I love the fact that I can drop a deuce and the deuce gets flushed down the toilet. Okay, so I like where the water is at right now. I do have to use a filter because it is nasty as hell. On the flip side, it is good to care about the earth. So, you know, maybe Adele Khalil's policies are good. I don't really know the intricacies of pumps and aqua engineering or something like that, but I do love water. I like to surf, and I know that I care about the water, so I will be conducting my own investigation into these people to make sure that our water is being pumped correctly. Also, I'm just going to put this out there. Why don't we just do like an above ground pool, like a massive one that we can drink our water from and drink on? Everyone loves the lake life. We need a lake in Los Angeles. Let's combine both worlds. Let's make it epic. And look, everyone's like, look, we have to source it from there. We have to source it from there. Hey, there's a water source west. It's called the Osh. Okay? So why don't we just get a friggin' fat Brita, desalinate the water, and then we're good. All these guys can break bread and have a friggin' steak and just, you know, go paintballing or something and chill it up. So that's where we're at right now. I will keep you guys posted as this transpires, and I want to thank you guys for tuning in to another episode of Chad Talk Goss.